Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be going over my defense logs on the Supreme Arena because I've been testing some different defenses this week and they've been doing pretty well, so I wanted to update you guys on that. And then at the end we can also take a look at the top ranking players defenses that we have on my server. But one way that I test my defenses a lot, and you guys can try this, is you can just take your defense, put them on your offense formations and attack into other teams and see how they hold up. Because a good defense should be able to hold up into any team. And so this is a good way to kind of test it, because right now we don't have the friendly duel mode out yet. When that comes out, definitely there'll be a lot more testing and we'll be able to refine defenses more. But until that happens, this is basically a great way that you can test them out. The other way, of course, is you set it as your defense and see how people attack it and how well your different teams do. So recently, for the last 2 days, I've been managing to hold my top 5 position even without needing to attack into other people. And I even did what I mentioned right now. I tested my defenses on offense against Svoka, who is a top ranking player, and we managed to win that as well. So let's first of all show you my defenses. The major one, which is going to be different, is this Mauler one here. And it is actually a really strange defense that we have. Brutus is in the back, and it's to protect against Valas. And there was recently someone who attacked into me with a Vala. Normally when people see Maulers on defense, and if they have a Vala built, they're almost always going to bring her. And even in this situation, the player brought out Vala and we managed to win. But normally, if you, for example, you have a more reasonable positioning or something that seems better, it doesn't work very well because Vala's going to mark the Coco in the back, and even with Cascade spell, it's not enough for her to get her ultimate off in time, and then she's going to go down. The enemy will be 5 before Vala got her kill, and you're not going to, it's going to be very difficult for you to win from that point. So with this positioning, it is purely to protect against, and I think actually I should change to this positioning, and I'm going to explain why. But this is purely to protect against enemy Valas, and it works well, because then people have to bring other things into it, and somehow they brought an Elsa Almas combo one time, crowd control team, into this team, and we still managed to beat that as well. And Maulers definitely can do well into crowd control teams because they're usually wilder based, so you have the factional advantage. So the reason, one thing that gets really awkward with this team lineup is Odie is over here, Coco runs up here to attack the enemies, Brutus cannot do anything. If you wrap around here, you can't actually connect to the back. So he just sits in the back until someone dies or somehow Coco moves up or something. So that's why I'm thinking maybe this positioning would be better. This way he still is going to give attack and haste buff to Odie, still heal the Coco. Brutus can easily run up because Smokey doesn't move. Yeah, this would just be probably better. However, the Smokey's healing will not reach to the front line as effectively like to the Shakir. That's kind of why I put him here, but with the enhanced auras and increased radius, then maybe he can still reach, or at least Brutus can get up there. So I think I'm going to try this for right now. And we have the Mauler evocation spell so one of the best artifacts of the seasonal artifacts is the evocation spell, because at the beginning of the match it gives you a temporary shield. Then it gives attack buff, life drain. It has a lot of useful buffs. It has really good stat distribution compared to the other artifacts, so I like it a lot. And that's why I'm running it here. Now let's take a look at our second team. So in the Raging Duel stacks, I always usually try to go for a crowd control team or a Mauler team with Coco ultimating first. But now I'm not even going for Coco trying to ultimate first strategy with Cascade, because it's just too weak to Vala. People just have to bring one Vala and they have such a heavy advantage, and they're most likely going to clear you. And in the top ranks, everyone probably has Vala. So I go for the full crowd control team, trying to lock down the enemies, and hopefully that can allow me to then stack up my rage before the enemy. And also this has a lot of damage threat here. We also have the Ronin in the back because we want him to take the Vala mark. Basically, I've redesigned all my teams to make it really annoying for Vala to do anything here. And we have all of this side grouped up, and Iron can crowd control them on the other side. We have a factional synergy. We have perfect crowd control synergy because Iron ultimates, immobilizes. Arden then entangles them, and Carolina deals more damage to crowd control enemies. Now, of course, if you have Almas and Elsa, I just got Elsa to Mythic Plus with the update to the All Heroes Available event. But if you have Almas as well, then I think that would be better than Granny and Rowan here. It would be even more crowd control, kill potential, and I would be running that. But I don't have Elmas built up, and I think it's better to have a bit more tankiness for right now until I get Elmas there as well. So I don't think Elsa has the best place for right now. But you could even replace Rowan with Elsa. Maybe that would be better. But then again, Vala is going to mark someone a priority target in the back. Okay, and I've gone for it. So this is a pretty powerful in terms of stat distribution artifact. That's mainly why I'm going for it. Also stunning for more crowd control. That's kind of why I chose it, but definitely Confining Spell would not be bad here. But my issue with Confining Spell with this team is people, when they go into a crowd control team, they're usually going to bring in Lightning Spell to protect their backline hero from immobilization. And then if you go for Confining Spell on top of that, half of it gets wasted because it will not be able to immobilize that target that has Enlightening Spell. So it just hits the other target. So that's kind of why I didn't go for Confining. And the stats are better on the seasonal artifacts, but Confining is a good option. On my final defense, I'm running the Scarlita Stroll team. Obviously, people will not be able to do this if they don't have Scarlita. If you guys don't have Scarlita, I think a good example for a final team would be something like... I would do something like this. It doesn't have a factional synergy, but having another tank in here to also potentially tank the Vala mark, and then having your Vala as the kill threat is really strong, because we haven't used Vala up until now. Or you can even continue to go with Floribel, for example, get the factional synergy and just have another tank in the back. Even go for Igor as like a more stall option. This is not bad. It's kind of similar to Zoo type stall teams because Igor is difficult to kill. You have a lot of protection on Haywin. But if you do this, don't put here. You need the Enlightening Spell on the Haywin, and I'm gonna explain why. Why is it so important that you have Enlightening Spell on Haywin? Why not go for like Light Shield Spell, for example, for more stats? The thing is, enemies can Rainier swap you, and you need to protect the Haywin. In a stall team, the key is your Haywin is surviving, and even if you don't have Scarlita, Thorin can sometimes kill all of the enemies as long as he lives for long enough, or the enemies just cannot kill you. So Haywin needs to survive. Rainier swapping her and an OD in the back is a key way people would try to burst her down. But if they can't Rainier swap, what can they do? They can put Vala mark onto her, but she has the soul pack from Thorin. You have multiple healers. She's not gonna die to Vala alone. They could do Vala and Sylvina, both jump onto the Haywin. It's possible that would be enough nuke or burst damage to kill her, but it's still a little bit risky because if the Sylvina doesn't kill the Haywin, she kind of just gets nothing done. And so people usually don't want to take that risk either. So Rainier swap people would really want to do into this team, but they can't do it because she is going to have Enlightening Spell. So that's kind of why I think it's important for that. And yeah, if you don't have Scarlita, definitely I would probably just go for... I would probably go for Igor or Sylvina even here as another threat, but I would prefer Igor because you just want to stall out, allow Floribel to summon her minions, heal up, have Thorin kill things as well, Igor finish things off. I think it just synergizes better with Igor or Tunisia, some other tanky unit that also has utility. So those are basically my formations. Let's just lock back in the Scarlita. And now we're going to take a look at some of the defense logs to show you how they work against the common offenses people are running. So first of all, Tsubaki attacked in... Okay, so Scarlita Diagonal team on the first. No way can a Mauler team deal with that. Even like a highly ascended, like even if we had Paragon 2 Maulers, I don't think you're going to be beating Paragon 1, Scarlita, and Diagonal team comp. That basically, if someone has that team and they're running both down on Scarlita on the same team, you're probably not going to be able to win that defense. But the other defense, he had a mirror match of us on the second team, all Paragon 1 heroes as well. But whenever it's a mirror match with the same level of ascension, even at a higher level of ascension, is not very a safe way to clear opponents. So on average, or they just do not want to use something like this because it is going to be up to chance in the end. And then finally run the Mauler team on the end. So our third team is our strongest team, no doubt. This is the team which is going to carry us. And if you have like a Scarlita, then definitely you want to put it in your overall strongest team to give you almost a surefire win on that one defense. And then you have these two other solid defenses which are also difficult for opponents to break through. If you take a look at Sun, on his first team, this is what I was talking about. Even with the Elsa Almas somehow, and Sylvina. But our defense is perfect for Sylvina. That's why we have Brutus in the back position. Basically, Sylvina can only jump on Shakira as a priority target, which is not too bad for us. But I want to see how this worked, because they have almost the perfect crowd control team. Probably they would be better off running Damien rather than the Sylvina. Then maybe they would have been able to clear my team. I want to see how close it was. But Iron is going to crowd control everyone. We're all grouped up. Sylvina would be either hitting Brutus. She's hitting Brutus because she's jumping on the back here, because there's no symmetrical tile for the Smokey or the Coco to be hit. So she has to attack the backmost, which is Brutus. And then Shakir just survives along with Brutus. And I don't think Odie is alive. But this is why I like Shakir and Brutus together, because it provides another hero for the Lupine's aura, and that buffs up the attack gains from it. And also it just gives Brutus a lot of tankiness, the damage reduction, haste, and Brutus is very difficult to kill. And if your Shakir lives for long enough, buffing up your Brutus, you will finish off the enemies, because with this the crowd control nuke team of Elsa Almas, they need to kill you in their initial combo or their second combo. If they don't kill you by then and both Shakir and Brutus are alive, they're just going to clean up like we saw over there. And that is why the Maulers can kind of be used as a counter to crowd control teams, as long as they can survive the burst at the beginning. Okay, let's take a look at So the second defense against Scarlita Diagonal team, if they're bringing that out, it's going to be very difficult for you to have a chance of winning there. And then on the final team, okay, he brings in Vala. I'm interested to see who he's trying to mark with Vala. I think he can definitely mark my Floribel if he positions Vala behind the barricade as well. And if he marks the Haywin, that's going to be pretty ineffective, because she's going to be protected by the Soul Pact. Okay, she marks the Haywin, but this is what I mean. If you don't have a Sylvina or some other burst along with the Vala, Vala is not going to kill the Haywin. There's enough tankiness in this team with the Damien heals, Haywin heals, and also the Scarlita shielding onto Haywin. And even though Vala denies the energy of the marked target like Haywin, she still is able to cast her ultimate. It's just a bit delayed. So Odie is smart into this team, because I have like a wilder stall team. Odie is now beginning to attack the Floribel, but it's too late because Scarlita has already descended. No one has been killed up until this point, and Scarlita just has to finish off the back, which things could have gone a little bit bad here. Look how tanky the minion of Floribel is. Everyone is on Floribel's minion, and she gets the ultimate cast as well. Now Scarlita thankfully moves to the back line. If Scarlita were still stuck on attacking the minion, I think we would have lost this. But this shows you the stall capability of Floribel and why she is good in these stall type teams, because she will just allow her minions to tank for you, and then your damages can come off from the back, which is really strong. And if we take a look, okay, so that's that. And we'll now look at a star. So he's bringing a Vala and Sylvina comp. Very commonly, if someone is going for a light bearer team, they're going to go for Vala and Sylvina comboed with it. Because if Vala and Sylvina can both kill a priority target at the beginning of the fight, you're 5v4, they both get their advantage from their initial kill, and like Valak is untargetable and Sylvina gains energy, and if she's at +10 extra equipment, she frightens enemies as well. But because of our positioning of this, they have to be attacking the Brutus. I think both are going to be jumping on... Yeah, Sylvina jumps onto Brutus. Brutus is also Rainier swapped, and Vala is marking... How did Wait, how is Vala marking Shakir? She should have still marked the Brutus, right? But I guess if Brutus gets Rainier swapped, then he doesn't get marked. Interesting. We still won it, but I want to see how this is working. Okay. So immediately, Vala is being swapped. Vala is being swapped with the Brutus, and then somehow that causes her to not mark the Brutus, which is strong. So I guess there's still a counterplay to this Brutus comp. She marks the Smokey or the Coco instead, because Brutus basically is considered to be swapped, and then Coco is the backmost hero. Wow, and then gets a kill under Coco with the Sylvina. You would think from this position they have the edge and they're going to be able to clean it up. But Shakir and Brutus are in the front, in the back line, and the damage reduction. Odie is completely safe off on the side. And we're still gonna win it. Wow, even though like that was a pretty good fight for him. I didn't know about that strategy that if you Rainier throw out the backmost target, then basically they're not even considered the backmost anymore, and you mark the next backmost. Either way, now probably our new lineup of this will be even better into that, because then they'll have to mark the Smokey, and that will just prevent him from casting his ultimate maybe, but he'll still have his aura for the healing, and Coco will be more protected to go for a damage reduction. So I think this will be even better into that lineup. Yeah, so overall, I'm really happy. This is the major change I made for this week's Supreme Arena, this Mauler team, and I'm really happy with it. And this is a type of team anyone can put together and try to run. Even if you don't have Shakira, for example, you can definitely go for Entendre in the front as a tank, and that could be fine. And but I like the Brutus way in the back, because Brutus is the best one to tank the Marks and the Sylvina and all of that stuff. Entendre still has a potential to be killed, and definitely you don't want Shakir taking the marks and all of that. So I'm overall happy with that. Now let's take a look at the other defense log, because we got a win with our Scarlita Stall team. They went for Taylene Ludovic, which is interesting. Like they have the Thorn probably still impacting the Taylene. They have Arden as well, but they're lacking crowd control. Like Arden is best used in a crowd control team because his damage will be more against enemies who are crowd control. Either way, he still got off a lot of damage. This is a pretty menacing team, but the issue with Taylene is you need to keep her alive. She needs enough protection. He is actually Thorn soul pacting the Coco, which I would think soul pacting the Taylene would be more important. Anyway, Taylene goes for ultimate really pretty much at the beginning of the match, but my Haven is going to counter and have our damage reduction with her ultimate, and as you can tell, Taylene is not managing to do anything, nor even killing the minions in the back. Oh wow, and I guess the interruption of Floribel is gonna cut short Taylene's ultimate, and she'll have to regain energy to begin casting again, and then Scarlita just knocks her off the board. Yeah, I think probably Thorin soul pacting Taylene would have been better, but as you can tell, still, it's very difficult for the opponent to do anything, and this is the idea behind a stall team. No matter what they bring at you, you need to out-tank it, and then Scarlita comes back and gets her revenge on the enemy team. Definitely, I do believe my second defense is the weak link of this Supreme Arena, but it's always difficult to come up with a good second defense. Let's see what a star used to clear us over here. The Raging Duel defense is always... Yeah, Almas Elsa. I think Almas Elsa is the best combo, and I have been seeing Brian lately a little bit, because he has stuns, I think, and then he can... and then Almas can prolong the duration of those crowd control effects, so there's some synergy there, but I don't think he's the best option. I think Arden would probably definitely be better, but he wanted to use Arden on his final team. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a very strong team. If you have a highly invested Elsa and you have Elmas at Supreme Plus or even Mythic Plus, then it can be very good, but I'm not going to be running it or able to run it. I think when I can get my Elsa 2 more copies of Supreme Plus, get Elmas to Supreme Plus, although he's only 1 copy right now, so that's going to be a long time, because I'll have to be buying him from Dream Realm. Hopefully he's added to Dream Realm. But yeah, then I think definitely that would be the dream team to be running from my formation. In Raging Duel, I think the crowd control offered by this team is just so strong, and I think this is overall the best Raging Duel team. Not Brian, but Arden instead. And that is what I want to aim for, but for right now I just can't do it, so I'm using Granny and Rowan, and I mean, it's fine. It did get some wins against some players. So anyway guys, I think that's going to be it for this video. Like, looking at the top ranking defenses, the thing is, we've already kind of taken a look at Svoker, who's currently ranked 2. And, okay, we can take a look just quickly to end off the video, but there's not going to be a lot of learning on Splash's defense, because he's just really strong and he can put together things a lot of people will not be able to put onto defense. But here, okay, so he has Friesto Zoo team. My Scarlita team, and as I was testing my defense, managed to clear this Zoo team he has at the end, Floribel, Burial, Friesto. This is a common type of Zoo team strategy, but probably it would be better if he didn't run Vala and ran another healer. They're another way of stalling out further. it would probably be more difficult to deal with. And his second team was a Scarlita team, which we managed to clear as well with our crowd control team. And the Scarlita team probably would be better for him in the first lineup and have your crowd control and raging duel to lock down the opponent so that you can get your rage stacks faster. So if he would have moved his team 1 to team 2 and changed Lumont for Elsa, he would probably get a guaranteed win on team 2. And on his final team, if he could get another healer, another support in there instead of Vala, because in a zoo comp, it's just about like whittling down and weakening down the enemy. Burial has enough kill threat, and either way, if they can't kill you, you're also going to win that way. So probably like something like Light Tail spell or Confining spell along with another healer or support rather than Vala would probably be better. And Scarlita team on the first team. Then probably I would not be able to beat him, but currently I was able to beat him. And if you look at Splash, okay, so his first team is a Diurnal team. Yeah, and a Diurnal Scarlita team. Now, interestingly, he's not soul pacting the Diurnal in the back. So even though they have like the Ludovic, I think if you ran, for example, Vala plus Sylvina combo, it would be enough to kill the Diurnal in the back. But the problem is that's not enough to win the fight, because I've seen it, and even if you can kill the Diurnal, you think, yay, I've won now. Thorn can wipe out your team. Scarlita, when she descends, can wipe out your team. So it's still like, I mean, killing this is still going to be a headache and very difficult to deal with. And he also has a Sylvina thread there. He has an Almas Elsa combo on team 2, which I think is, like with his Ascension level, I think this team is unbeatable. I think this is the dream team all ready for Raging Duel. And I can't imagine, like with this Ascension, how anyone manages to clear this. He has Cascade spell on the Arden. Like, I mean, you could try to Vala the Arden, but you're just going to be crowd control and locked down. You're not going to be able to do anything, even with the Lightning spell in the back. But I guess that would be the only strategy. In the final team, he has a Zoo team as well with Vala in it too. Yeah, I like Shakira as a tanky hero. Probably I would do Floribel instead of Vala to have more summons for the Zoo type comp. And I think that might just be better. And Shakir does really well in Stroll teams because he's going to buff up the front line like the Fresto and yeah, mainly the Fresto to make it more difficult for people to kill him. But I don't think he buffs the Illusion because that's considered a summoned ally. But anyway, these are the defense lineups of the top rankers in our district. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. We're very close to getting 5-star border. We need 250 more points. So if we can finish top 5 more times in a row, then all it will take is 5 more days. Otherwise, it may take longer if we're in top 20 sometimes. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. And if you wanted to know, is it possible to have the 5-star border already? It is possible. Our #1 player, Splash, in our server, he got it, I think, yesterday. His 5-star border. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.